Hi, welcome students. Welcome to my sixth lecture on variational calculus. Today we will discuss a special case of Euler equation using several dependent variables. First slide. You all remember our variational problem can be expressed as j is equal to integral x1 to x2 a functional f which depends on y, yx and x. Now let us think of generalizing this problem where the f depends not only on y but on many y's, y1, y2, y3, etc. That means f is a function of several dependent variables where there is only one independent variable which is x. Similarly, if there are many dependent variables y, correspondingly there will be same number of differential of y. Like if I have y only, I have f of y, yx and x. So if I am having n number of dependent variables, the variational problem will become j is equal to integral x1 to x2 f of y1 x, y2 x, y3 x, etc. up to yn x. Then the differential of all these variables y1x of x, y2x of x, y3x of x, etc. ynx of x, comma x dx. Now, as in the previous case we wrote in terms of alpha, y is expressed in terms of alpha as a sum of two terms, where alpha is the deviation parameter, where I wrote the first path corresponds to alpha equal to 0, where there is no deviation. The y alpha equal to 0 corresponds to the minimum path. So yi x 0 plus alpha eta x. So that means yi of x alpha, because this alpha is a parameter that changes the different paths which are different in the which differs in y. So yi x are 0 plus alpha into eta ix means eta refers to delta y, but alpha is a parameter, eta is nothing but delta y. So eta I, because where I is a running parameter, running counting number, where the different dependent variables are considered. Suppose if I is equal to 1, I will be getting alpha eta 1x, that will be again plus y1x0. Similarly, you will get n number of equations for y dependent variables. Coming to the next slide. As we know, the minimum condition is obtained by differentiating j with respect to alpha at alpha equal to 0, because when the first derivative is 0, it will be a condition of maxima minima. So as we are seeing, when alpha equal to 0, it has to be minimum. So now, as in the normal case, we are using the condition dou j by dou alpha equal to 0 at alpha equal to 0. Now the equation 1, where the integral j x1 to x2 it can be written as, substituting the values of j in the above equation, that is dou j by dou alpha, that will become, since f is a function of yi and y1x, yi and yix, it will be written as dou f by dou yi into eta I plus dou f by dou yix into eta ix into dx. Here, as you know, the subscript x that denotes the partial differential with respect to x. That means y ix is dou y by dou x and so on. So if I say dou f by dou ix into eta ix, that the second term is a product of two functions. As we know, the product of two functions can be used by integration by parts. It is nothing but first function into integral of second minus integral of differential of first into integration of second. Using this was done in the previous lectures. As we use the same concept of integration by parts, we get the above equation 8 will become dou f by dou y minus d by dx dou f by dou y ix into eta dx equal to 0, which is similar to the equation which when we had one dependent variable, but the only difference is here we will get n equations and it will be the sum of all the n equations. Therefore we will write sigma I is equal to 1 to n integral sigma 1 to I equal to 1 to n dou f by dou y minus d by dx dou f by dou y ix into eta dx. Coming to the next slide, and we know the eta I are arbitrary and independent of each other, so the terms with outside the bracket cannot be 0. Only the term inside the bracket has to be 0, because eta is not 0, delta dx is not 0, because they are arbitrary and they are finite, and each of the terms inside the bracket has to be 0. That means dou f by dou yi minus d by dx dou f by dou y ix, which is nothing but y ix is nothing but dou y by dou x, is equal to 0. That means we are getting a set of Euler equation instead of one Euler equation. So that means each of this Euler equation is being satisfied by an extremum value. That means each dependent variable y has got an extremum value, corresponds to an extremum value. Now when we apply this type of equation where we have a function which is having more than one dependent variables, in many problems of physics we will understand we will come to know many interesting applications. One of such application is if I am taking the integrand f, which is a functional in the variational problem, as a Lagrangian of a system. As you know, Lagrangian of a system is a very interesting function of the system where it represents the difference between the kinetic and potential energies of a system. So as we studied, Lagrangian L is equal to T minus V. Now if I put F is equal to T minus V, which is L, coming to the next case, that will become a problem called Hamilton's principle. That will leads to Hamilton's principle. Now what I am going to do is I am slightly making a change. What I am doing is, instead of x as an independent variable, I am choosing time as an independent variable. Instead of y as a dependent variable, I am using x as the dependent variable. That means x depends on time. Time is an independent variable. So just compare the previous case. Instead of x, here t will come. In the previous case where y comes, here x comes. So y ix will become xi of t. That means dou y by dou x will become, in this case here I am using dou x by dou t, because x is a dependent